In Education 170, each week you will have a weekly literature activity. This literature sharing is to introduce you to the different genres of quality children's literature, which is important as a future teacher of young children. It's also important to learn how to read stories and find ways to use the stories for learning in your classroom. This activity done weekly will scaffold the process of learning to build activities around quality literature, which meets NACCE Standard 5A and 1B. To start, each week within your presentation, you will listen to a story read. As you listen, think about how to use the story in each of the following categories: phonics and phonemic awareness, word identification, comprehension and vocabulary, fluency, writing, math, and the social science areas, which include social studies, science, and health. Also think about how to use this story for other extracurricular areas in your classroom, such as music, art, or dramatic play. Using the recording sheet at the bottom, you will record in each of the specific areas. You want to try to focus on a theme that this book will best be used for, and also a specific age of learner. If you're unsure what skills are appropriate for this age of learner, you can always go to the Pennsylvania State Standards website and search within the grade level that you've chosen. You can also search on Pinterest or the internet for ideas specific to the book. The website to the state standards is listed within our direction handout. It's also bookmarked in the toolbar of our Education 270 course. Now, before I go any further, I just want to point out that early in the semester, you may not know what each of these categories mean. These are specific reading focus areas in a balanced literacy classroom, and you may be unsure. So, please note that if this is difficult, try your best, but I will always be sharing my ideas, and we'll talk about that in step 3. So if it's difficult in the beginning, lean more on my ideas. And as you become more independent, you'll lean less on my ideas. That's that process of scaffolding that we have learned about. So going back to standard 3 or direction 3, at the end of this process, you'll go back to the presentation on D2L and you will look at the ideas that I have shared for the book. As you complete the activity, again, it should get easier and easier for you. Dropbox this literature sheet on D2L in the weekly literature sharing Dropbox folder. This will be housed each week under the week that we are focusing on. Now, each time you Dropbox a weekly literature sharing, it will be worth 10 points. And over the course of the semester, you will do this 10 times, which means this activity will earn you a total of 100 points at the end of the semester. Most important is for you to save these sheets for your future classroom. And as you purchase new literature for your classroom, start doing this. I like to use Post-it notes on the inside cover of the book that I've just purchased. But this is a great tool for you to start doing as you are introduced to new literature, and it's something that will save you a lot of time in your future classroom. A couple things I want to point out. First of all, again, here's that recording sheet. You're going to list the title of the book, the author, is it fiction or nonfiction, and what is a theme or group of themes that you could use when focusing on this book. Each of the reading areas has a spot for you to focus on what kind of activities. You're not writing a lesson plan here, you're just jotting down activities. Here are our social sciences, social studies, science, and health. Here's a writing area, a math area, and this is that other category. Now you may notice that I also have included a place for you to brainstorm literature. The literature is not going to be listed on my copy. I want you to learn how to explore the internet or the library or a bookstore to gather literature related to a theme. And I want you to do that using fiction stories and nonfiction because as we're learning, text sets include both kinds of literature. So for example, if the theme of the week is snow, you would find fiction books about snow, and then you find nonfiction books related to snow and winter. So you're going to be developing your own text sets. I would shoot for at least 3 books in each area, 3 fiction, 3 nonfiction. If you find more, great. But again, I'm not going to give you those because I want you to learn how to explore and find your own related text. Last but not least, I want to show you where you can find these things on D2L. So on D2L, in the course project folder, you can see the weekly literature sharing activity is a file. And you can see there's our project handout we were just looking at. Here's the direction video. And I know you found those because you're right here now. Here is the form to print. So what you just saw as the recording sheet, you can print it off each week and then take a picture of it to Dropbox or scan. You can also edit it. It is a PDF. So if you know how to edit a PDF, as a Mac user, I use Preview, but you could use any tool that you have on your own computer. That's great. If you do it on a tablet, you can write into it and save it from there. So whatever you'd like to do is fine. I actually even have people write their own Word document that looks like the PDF. That's up to you as well. Here is the weekly literature file Dropbox, but I want to point out that if you don't access it here, there's another way to access that Dropbox. If you go into your weeks, let's just choose week 2, you'll see within week 2 that we have weekly Dropboxes, and there's the weekly literature file Dropbox. So if it's in the presentation, it will also have a Dropbox for you right there within your own file for that week. If you have any questions about the project, let me know. And have a great time learning to use literature in your classroom.